My name is Maurice deGuzman. I'm a year 3 nursing student from Brandon University, and I classify as a he, him. So my research product today is social media use with the adolescent population. As we know, social media, we all love it. Everybody uses it. Honestly, in the end, it's all about moderation. There's many positive and negatives to it. So we'll delve a little deeper. There are 3 types of social media use. You have passive, active, and problematic. With passive social media use, think of it just like doom scrolling. That's pretty much it. You're just trying to pass the time. You are just waiting on a meeting or a class, whatever. Active social media use, you're getting a little more interactive now. You're liking, you're commenting, you're texting, you're posting. Those are all like examples of active social media use. Now, if we go into problematic social media use, now you're thinking of you're using it a little too much. You're starting to show addiction like symptoms to social media. It's kind of like, oh, I think I felt my phone vibrate. Let me go check it out. Or, oh, I was supposed to post at this time because I have to post at this time because I know somebody else is posting. I need those likes, right? So it can get pretty bad. And it can start distracting you from like school. It can start distracting you from exercises, chores, your responsibilities in general. It can affect the adolescent brain development as well. So we're looking at language, we're looking at attention and an executive function. So for language, we're thinking it actually improves communication skills. It improves the ability to learn English. So people actually like to learn English more thanks to social media, which is really great, right? Um, in terms of attention span, you're actually able to develop more multitasking abilities, which is really cool. Thanks to social media, wonderful, right? And I think it's just because you're using multiple apps at once, or when you're posting a video, you got to think about, oh, I got to send this video, but I got to make sure to crop this portion out, add this song, how it goes. Downside, however, we're looking at reducing attention span now. It's a significant distractor as well, of course, right? And then as well, it can exacerbate ADHD symptoms, which I find is very interesting. Um, Executive function, so it impairs problem-solving skills, decision-making skills, inhibitory control, ability to plan, and it will increase your impulsivity. So lots of negatives there, but I think that's just in terms of more you're using it too much at that point, right? There is, as you can see, many benefits, but as well as many negatives. Risk for developing problematic social media use. So, some big ones are being an adolescent female. So, adolescent females they are at a higher they have a higher trend of developing problematic social media use, just because of just think of it like the nature of how adolescent females and males are, right? So with males, play games, whatever. We don't think too much about what's going on around us, and then now looking at adolescent females, beauty standards. I gotta post this picture, right? I gotta, oh, my hair looks really good. Come take a look at it, right? As well, the natural behavior of adolescents. So as we know, adolescents, their brains are still developing, but so they're more impulsive, they're conscientious, they have a habit of with FOMO, fear of missing out, right? The design of social media, it is so easy to use, as we all know, right? We get a habit of it. You're scrolling, all of a sudden you've been using TikTok for an hour and you've discovered many reels, right? As well, adverse childhood events. It was found in the study that 4 or more adverse childhood events will put a child or an adolescent at an increased risk of developing problematic social media use. And if you think about it, right, adverse childhood events, mom and dad is arguing downstairs. You don't want to hear that, right? You'll get in trouble if you try to intervene. So you're going to distract yourself with your phone. And then it becomes a habit and you keep using it more and more. In terms of mental health, so non-social media users that are adolescents have shown an higher mental and healthy well-being. However, less peer support from their fellow adolescents, which is very interesting, right? And if you can think about it, right, with active and problematic social media users, they have more peer support but less mental health well-being, and that's just the difference of being on your phone and not being on your phone, right? But it definitely has their risk and benefits, and you just got to be balancing it out. Um, so as well with problematic social media users, I think I've already said this before, but it can cause psychological and somatic symptoms. So think like headache, your eyes start to burn because you haven't blinked in X minutes, your neck hurts, your shoulders hurt, right? You're hunched over your phone like this, of course it's gonna hurt, right? Sleep and physical health. Of course, that phone's near your bed, you're gonna look at it. You're gonna sleep less, and that's just how it goes. In terms of physical health, it is a high influencer of body and beauty standards. And of course, we just have to remember whatever we see online is not real at all. But it still works just because, with adolescents, they are convinced easily, right? And that's just kind of how things go. Um, However, with social media, on the flip side, it can actually help motivate people to, go to the gym, right? Or, take care of themselves, buy new clothes, stuff like that, which is always a good thing, right? In terms of social development, there's an up and a negative. Upside, you're talking to people online, right? You're like developing communication skills in a way. However, downside is they're not as used to talking to people online or in person. So, eye contact, what to do with your hands, standing straight, or it's just some key things that they might not know how to do, and then all of a sudden they're talking to you like this, and you never know what to do. In terms of nursing care, for us, we're thinking you gotta assess screen time, you gotta assess the mental health, sleep as well. How many hours of sleep are they getting? Is that phone next to them before they go to bed, or are you taking it away as the parent? And then as well, you want to observe kind of like what are they using on their phone. I know it is a little bit of breach on privacy, but like what's going on, right? And I think that's more of a thing for the parent and the child than it is for the nurse. In terms of education, safe use, cyberbullying, and digital literacy. So, no cyberbullying. Please use it safely. And in terms of digital literacy, just know what you're allowed to use, what you're not allowed to use, what websites to avoid, and stuff like that. In terms of family, so this is that part where it's better if the parents kind of more intervene with the child's like phone use, social media use, control what's being used. A really good way to do things is and you can invite your child to use their phone in the common space so that way you're kind of keeping an eye on them while you're doing chores because I know as a parent life is busy, right? You got to think about everything. Advocacy, so support adolescent rights to safe and healthy environment online, and that's really the biggest thing we can do. Key takeaways, just in general, balance it out, take frequent breaks, your eyes need to blink, and just social media is a great thing, but it can also be pretty bad. So it depends on how you use it. There was a study done with Quebec and Ontario. It's a policy where they dictate how much ads sorry, junk food ads they're allowed to see on their phones. So Quebec is the one with the policy while Ontario was the one without the policy. And the results showed that adolescents from Quebec actually consume junk food less as compared to their Ontario counterpart. And that's just because of literally what they see. You guys ever heard the term monkey see, monkey do, right? You see, and then a big thing was that celebrities were actually one of the biggest intervening factors on the dictating what they're eating and what they're not, which is very interesting. But of course, I think media is, I guess, it's all been the same anyway. So in the future, I'm hoping that we're able to implement a similar act just across Canada, because as we know, junk food consumption has been increasing drastically, and it's important for adolescents, especially for their growing body, to eat healthier foods. Having your balanced diet and not eating the same Big Mac every day, 7 days a week, right? Yeah, and that's pretty much my hope. I'm hoping I can remember this just because in the future, anyways, because when I graduate, I'm hoping, well, first, harm reduction nurse, community health, I think is a really big one, as well as the emergency room. But as well, I'm hoping to come back and teach here, and I'm hoping I could implement something like this in the future.